We Say What They Can't Radio.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the second episode of What They Don't Tell You, a podcast about marriage, love, and what they really don't tell you about marriage. So every week, or maybe not every week, but whenever we have a taping, this is really to kind of give women an insight on what they really don't tell you about marriage, right? So this is for married women, engaged women, and single women looking to be married. So without further ado, I have some amazing guests today. And like I told you before, whenever we tape, it's some good girlfriends really giving you the real tea about what they don't tell you. So we have some beautiful women here. We have myself, but then we have Jackie. Jackie's been married for 9 years. Let's clap it up, everybody. Then we have Sarissa. She's been married for 11 years. And then we have Mel. She's been married for 7. All right, ladies. So we have to, get right into it. Let's jump right into it. So, in-laws. I need some insight on in-laws, right? So my husband and I have been married for 6 years, right? Mm-hmm. We've been together for like 16, right? And so I had to adapt. You know the saying, you don't just marry the man, but you marry his family, mm-hmm. right? And you hear that, but you really don't hear that, mm-hmm. because all I know is I love you. And I don't think about anybody else because I'm just thinking about you. But then I really did marry his sister and his mother and his aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody, Mm-hmm. And so that was met with some real challenges because this life and everything is not like easy peasy. So how did you guys deal with, well, first of all, my question is, how important is it to have a relationship with your in-laws?
I think it's very important to have a relationship with your in-laws because your husband, your significant other, has a good relationship. If they have a good relationship with their in-laws, you should have the same type of relationship or similar because you know the importance they have in their lives. My in-laws, let's go back. I met my husband in church and we grew up in the church. So his parents and my parents, our families knew each other. So it's not like I had to, when we started dating, I had to get to know him. I had to get to know him in a different state in a relationship, but not, it wasn't nothing new. Like they knew my family, they knew me, so it wasn't like they had to find out, did I have ulterior motives to be with him?
Right.
The cousins are like, oh, she's just, like it was none of that because they knew what stock I came from.
Right.
And vice versa. So my in-laws treated me like a daughter. My mother and my father treated my husband, and my brothers treat him like a brother and son. So I don't have those issues when it comes to my in-laws.
Right.
I think for myself, I do think that an in-law relationship is very important. It does give you some type of foundation to see exactly, what you have now entered into, and it kind of gives you a little background on who your husband mm-hmm. really is, mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's so funny because my mother-in-law is a very vocal person. She loves the Lord. All of us do. Like Sarissa, like I know them from like the whole church background right. setting. And when my husband asked me to marry him, he first went to my dad. And I remember it was like, my father was like, well, ain't y'all related? This like incest or something, because we kind of have history,
right.
Like his side, his family is married into my spiritual mom's family. So it's like, it just seemed that way, okay. But it really wasn't. So, right. Let me clear that up.
Right. Right. I was going to say, what? Like,
exactly. Let me clear that up. But, just meeting with her, it was so funny because a lot of the times you hear that the man marries similar to what his mother is.
Yes.
And in that, it was so crazy for me because we didn't know. In all my life, like my nickname has been Sister. And his mother's nickname is sister, and we didn't. It was never discussed.
Wow.
I happened to be at a Thanksgiving, our first Thanksgiving dinner together, and with their family and mine. And someone said, "Sister, could you pass the stuffing?" And I reach and she reached, and I'm like, we all looking at, and she was like, "They call you sister." I was like, "Oh wow," So a lot of the times, even as we grew in our marriage, I started seeing him say to me often, "Dang, I married my mother."
Yes.
You know, and I'm sure he never intended that when he went out looking like, "Oh man, I'm gonna look for a woman just like my mother." I don't think any of us do, go out looking for, like that main person in our lives that has impacted our lives in that behalf. But that is exactly what happened. So just seeing that, I think that the relationship between me and my in-laws is important because they shaped the man that I felt I was created for.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, that meant a lot. But we have a very close relationship, but it's not I call you every day relationship.
Okay. Right.
We really don't. And that's my own stuff, because for me, I lost my biological mom and my spiritual mom. And I was like, I just don't want to draw close to someone else again in a mother fashion, and it may not be the best thing for me, but sometimes you have to look at what your heart is telling you.
Right.
But I love my mother-in-law, and I love that no matter if I pick up the phone today or tomorrow, she's always there. And I do whatever I can for her as well as for my dad as well, which is my father-in-law.
Right.
Nice. Great. Well, on my side, when me and my husband met, his mom actually passed away the same year that we met.
Wow.
And his dad passed away years prior. And I really wish that I would have met his mom to just get a glimpse of who he was, or just to see the family dynamic and things like that. Right. Now, it wasn't until years in, when you mentioned when you marry your husband or when you marry your spouse, you're marrying into the family, or you're marrying your dad or your mom. So when I look at my husband now, I'm like, I really married almost like someone similar to my dad. My dad passed away when I was 13. So my dad was, he was into construction. My husband's a carpenter. When I think of just marrying who your mom or dad was, I think of, and I didn't think of it until years into the marriage. Wow, he married my mom. I think of my mom. And when he deals with me and whatever we have to deal with in the household, I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Because even when I think of my mom and the things we dealt with, for him to now be dealing with it, I'm like, wow, it's a lot. And I didn't think of that before we got married or while we were courting each other or whatever. So it's just my mom on my side, and unfortunately, his mom and his dad passed away, so there's no in-laws that I have to. I wish that I really would have been able to meet them, but it is what it is right now.
For me, for my husband, it's his sister and his mom. So that's his foundation, right? And his dad passed away when he was younger. I didn't get to meet him. But, it was rough in the beginning. My mother-in-law and I always got along. But then his sister, which it's so crazy how things happen and things really turn around. I just want to give a shout out to Aunt Pat, because Aunt Pat, you are amazing.
Love you, Aunt Pat.
Listen, Aunt Pat is oh my God. She's it's Jesus and then it's Aunt Pat.
Ooh,
okay. So let me tell you. So my sister-in-love, right, is out of control. You already know Tasha, right? So she's like, oh, don't mute my mic. So she's like, oh, this is my brother. And we didn't really get along at first. I didn't feel like
when I met my sister.
No, she's older than me. She's out of control.
She's on between Dre.
Yeah. Oh no, she's the older sister.
Oh, okay.
She's very little, so she listens. She's But she's
powerhouse. She is a
But
powerhouse.
she's little, but a lot of stuff. What?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
A very big
Lord.
voice.
Good. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a sister-in-law. Like I have 2 sister-in-law and loves, and I be giving them fever too. But it's out of protection of your
Goodness.
brother. Right.
Fever. So wait. Let me tell you.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
So we didn't really get along too much, but I think it all came to a head. I don't even remember what 100% happened, but it was underlying stuff. So for me, I'm the type of person that just push stuff under the rug, right? So if stuff happened, I don't really vocalize it. But if I don't really get out what I feel, it's in the back of my head. So if I'm moving on, it's really just for him, but I really feel the way I feel because I never got it out.
Right.
So, child, everything came to a head, child. Listen,
Lord.
so one day she came to the house. I don't remember what she was. This is Tasha. Right. So she came to the house, and I had Ryan. He was smaller, and I think I just had Peyton, my youngest. And she just I guess she thought I didn't speak or I didn't tell my son to speak. Listen, I don't know if I should tell. Well, I'm going to tell it. Listen, sis.
Tell it.
It's a part of our story. She jumped out the car. She tried to attack me. It got crazy. I said some really terrible things, and then it did escalate. Okay, it was bad. And I never thought that it would be repaired. Because for me, once you do something to me, you're pretty much dead to me. That's it. I'm not even trying to fix it or whatever. But Aunt Pat came in. Listen, he called his mother. His mother was like, listen, Pat, I need you. And let me tell you something. Aunt Pat will, I don't care what kind of issues there is, Aunt Pat will bring everybody together. You just have no choice. And she did. And from there, we worked it out, and I was still giving her the side eye. But it's so crazy because now my daughter is 5 years old. And I absolutely love my sister-in-law.
And I have to chime in on I have to chime in right here. I really do. Because Tosh is my sister too, but she's my sister in Christ. And Tasha she is a powerhouse, and she is very vocal. But what I can say is I never knew about this. So family business, family business is family business.
Didn't share that.
I do love.
Right.
I love that it remained amongst the family. That's dope, for real. But what I will say is that to see the growth is evident because every text that I have ever received from Tasha about Simone, or every conversation about it, it's like my sis in love. She never says, this is my sister-in-law. This is my sis in love. And I don't recall Tasha, we've gone to many conferences. We go to this women's conference, and the pastor that leads the conference, she always talks about her mother-in-law in love. And I was like, well, Tosh wasn't here for that. So where did she get the sister-in-love thing from, So that, when I truly believe that restoration is always possible,
That's right.
And Aunt Pat being that person, if she was the one that was used, if she was the person that was used.
We got to have Aunt Pat on the show. Can Aunt Pat on the show?
Aunt Pat is the bomb. I'm not going to lie, she is the bomb.
She is. Oh, my goodness.
Let's have Aunt Pat on the show.
Right, Aunt Pat, you need to come on the show, honey. And it's because, right, Tasha was the one that came up with that because I did not even know about the soul sister-in-law. And she's the one that started it. And after, really letting my guard down, like I said, I just love her. And then just to go back to marrying your parent, oh my God. I did not think that there was another person like my dad. My dad passed away before we got married, unfortunately. But when I
Raised
look
like
at
your
him,
dad?
Yo, oh my God. Just everything. Well, he doesn't cook because my dad did cook.
Okay, just
but he's
accept
trying
that.
because recently he did make 2 meals in 1 week. Shout out to my husband. Those burgers were those burgers.
I'm not going to lie. All Dre makes his breakfast. He make a good old bacon and egg in the morning.
Listen. But you do marry your parent and you don't even realize it. You're not even trying to do it. I would have never thought. And he always is like, wait, you you acting like Lady D now. Because sometimes now I get a little loud. So he's like, dang, Lady D. I love you, mother in love. And even with like, he'll be like, well, he'll say something. I'm like, yeah, well, you need to do it. He's like, Lady D, I just said that. So you really do marry your mother-in-law. But I do, or your parents or whatever. But I definitely think that, the relationship with your in-laws, period, is so important.
Crucial, yeah.
Right. So that's right. And that's, again, something that they don't really tell you when it comes to marriage. They don't. Everybody, like, and just to go back a little bit for us people who didn't see the first episode, this show is really, like I said, about what they don't tell you. When you get married, or you're at your bridal shower or whatever, the advice that you get is pretty generic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep God first, which I agree. I definitely hands down agree. Keep people out your business.
Yeah.
That's the second one. Right. And I started this to be like some sort of like a safe place for women, right? Because if you think about it, when I started talking to people about things that I was going through as a wife, I found out that a bunch of people was going through the same thing I was going through. So that's, again, the basis of this is because I want to give that.
I want to stop you for one moment, and you are the moderator, and you are the show's host, and all of that. You are the show.
Yes.
But you said something that was very important, and you said when you started talking about it. And a lot of the times we don't talk about it.
And you don't realize
it wasn't
You'd be
until
embarrassed
it wasn't until we weren't taught to talk about it.
Right.
It was like, your marriage business, you gotta keep that inside.
Yeah.
Like what goes on in your household, gotta stay in your household. But where do you get the help?
Right.
Even if you know him, and he is my resource and my source, my source first. But it's like, who do I go to? Like, I'm really dealing with some stuff here. Dad, I can't, maybe I should hit up Sarissa. She been married for 11 years, but I don't want Sarissa to know that that's what's going on in my house. Oh, maybe I should hit up Mel. Mel been in this for like 5 years.
Right.
Her and Chuck look like they got it together.
Right.
Let me just...
Look like.
Exactly. And that is the perception. People see us
Yeah,
and
right.
we make
Yeah,
it look
absolutely
good.
right.
Like we make it look real good, but it wasn't until you started talking about it
Yeah.
that you realize, oh wow, you went through, you're going through it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh wow. And that's when you start getting those jewels dropped into you.
Absolutely.
You
Right.
know? So that to me is, I say, like, a lot of times we stuff things and we keep things in, because of pride, because of shame or whatever, and only the really, really bad things, when it really gets to an exploding place, do we start talking about it. And I don't think that that's the time, because at that point it has gotten too far. Had we had somebody that we were able to get it when that little fire started
Just
igniting.
in the beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it first saw that little simmer, I think that, it could have saved some stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So I'm so glad. I'm so thankful for you ladies to be here and give your wisdom. Yes. So we're going to move into the second topic. I want to talk about friends of the opposite sex. Because for me... So, okay.
Drop the mic now.
Let's talk about this because this
Drop the mic right now. We
this
gonna
is
drop
real, right?
This is
So,
my homie.
listen. So, okay, when I first started dating my husband, I did have a friend, right? This guy, his name is Marvin, and I love Marvin, not as a... You totally know who Marvin is. Oh, my God. So he knows who Marvin is.
Me neither, Dre.
Because I've invited Marvin. Listen, so anyway, this was like my friend. No, nothing. It was literally my friend. And we talked about like different things, like, aspirations. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, it was really, when I say the most platonic, just like one of my girlfriends, right?
No.
So... Look, he act like he don't know who Marvin is. But whatever. Anyway, but
I'm just in my Marvin's room. Isn't that a Drake song?
Christ, Lord have mercy. Yeah, but
all I'm
that's
thinking
not the
about.
Marvin I'm talking about. Anyway, so we were friends, right? And then I met my husband, my boyfriend at the time, and we had a conversation about male
Marvin.
friends, opposite. No, not about Marvin, but we did speak about like the whole opposite sex thing, and he was like, "Listen, I got a problem with that. Like, I shouldn't. That's not what I want." So I had to cut Lil Marvin out of my life. So I never like it.
Your husband had a problem with friends of the opposite sex?
Yes, he had a problem with that, right? However, now we fast forward. This was like 16 years ago, right? So we fast forward now, we're together, we're engaged, and, we're living together and stuff like that. And he has female friends. And some I'm cool with, some I'm like, really? Like, why? Because I remember Lil Marvin got cut off. And I didn't make
That's why
Marvin got cut off. And he didn't even know about Marvin because I gave him that respect.
I don't even know about Marvin.
Right. That's how long ago
And
it
we've been
was.
friends from, right.
Well, right.
Marvin.
Marvin got cut off, but now it's not even like he had friends that he was friends with like before we met. These are new friends. I'm like,
That's
wait
a difference. That makes a difference.
Listen, so I'm
That makes a difference.
So, I felt like, okay, yes, you have friends, right? And I don't want to make you feel like you got to cut all your friends off. But there's got to be some type of line. And I, listen, my grandmother told me, and this is partly, she said, ain't nothing open after 11 or 12 but legs, right?
Your grandmother.
My yes, Maddie Crenshaw, that is. Shout out to Maddie Crenshaw. She said that. She told me, and she was not lying. So my thing is, when you're going out with these friends after work or later or whatever, up until that time, that was a problem for me.
It could be 2 in the afternoon. It doesn't even have, like...
You're right. No, you're right. It's a way that you do certain things. And then I have
another... 10 in the morning.
Listen, what you calling this person for? Like, so that was an issue for me, right? And we had to work through it. I got over it or whatever, because then he brought these people around or whatever the case may be. But I do need to know, is that okay? Is that appropriate? If your spouse, before you get in the relationship, if your spouse has a problem with that, is it okay for you to continue to carry on this relationship, or should you just like dead it because you're the person that you're with is unhappy?
I think if the person is unhappy and you cut your relationships off, they should do the same thing. It should be fair playing ground.
Yes.
My husband, I didn't have male friends. Like, once I told guys I was getting married, it was like, oh, fuck God. You know what I mean?
You didn't have male friends anyway.
But can you curse on the show?
You can. Yes, you can. Okay. You can.
So they like, this bitch is off the market. You know what I mean? I don't got no wins, So, but my husband had female friends, and my husband calls me a friend stealer. Because his friends are my friends.
We know about friend stealer.
What? My husband is a
female friends.
He's a friend stealer. Oh my goodness.
He stole all her friends. Hey. Hey, Trey.
I'm sorry.
So if the opposite sex is not, I don't know, if they respect your mate and can have the same type of relationship, because I can count on one hand the female friends that my husband has, and those girls, every anniversary they texting us in a group text, happy anniversary, y'all.
And y'all all hang out together. Like, it's not just them hanging out without you. Do they hang out without you?
Yeah, but I'm fine with it because...
Because what?
Because one lives in my building, right? She's, y'all probably know her in church circus. She's a minister.
Okay.
So she lives in my building. Another one lives right across the street from us. So, because he grew up in the same neighborhood that we live in.
What makes you okay with friends of the opposite sex?
Because of the respect that he still has for me when they're around. Because you can sense things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If your dude is tipping with a chick, you can tell how the chick responds to you.
Right.
You can tell how the dude acts when y'all two together. You know what I mean?
Does it have to do with their looks or how they carry themselves and things like that?
No, because my husband don't deal with no riffraff, no low budget chicks. You know what I'm saying? So it's on some. These chicks have degrees.
Yes, husband.
Okay.
You know, they on Wall Street. They making money. Like he doesn't mess with no riffraff chicks. So it's not like I'm walking in and I'm like, oh, like my girlfriend, his own girl that lives in our building. I come home, she's in my living room, but it's no.
You're fine with that?
I'm fine because she brought over some Girl Scout cookies that I like, or she made something for us. Like, she's like, sis, I made this for you. So it's no disrespect. And I feel comfortable with her. Like she's really the bomb. Like. Y'all probably know her. Let me shout her out. She watching Jocelyn Man.
Hey, Jocelyn. Let's have Jocelyn on the show. Let's have Jocelyn on the show.
Jocelyn, you know, she's really dope. But if it's a female that I don't know, but I did have chicks that was members of my church that I had to get them all the way together.
Okay.
Came in after, like they came in when I was away at school. So they didn't know who I was when I came back because I went to school in a different state. So my husband stayed in the church. So he was like open stock. Like he's single. He got a good job. He did this. He don't got no kids. So all the females, young girls, you know how church is. Everybody flocking.
Right.
So I come into them. They're like
looking for their Boaz.
You better preach.
They looking for.
That's what they look for. So when I came to the church, thinking that I'm a newbie in the church because they didn't know who I was. They're like, who this chick coming in and everybody know her?
You don't know?
You don't know? So it was a situation that females, because my husband plays golf. So these girls took up golf. So
your husband plays golf?
Yes. So I'm like, y'all can go ahead because I feel confident.
He's black.
And right, that's like
so
not unheard of, but like it's not common.
It's not. So the girls picked up the sport of golf, and they don't talk to me. Like these chicks didn't talk to me. And sure, I could be talking to them at the time we were just dating. If he and I having a conversation, these chicks will walk up and interrupt the conversation. So I'm gonna let you handle the situation, right? So my husband's a nice guy, so he's like, yeah.
Okay.
So I let that ride a couple of Sundays. And then in the chapel, I had to get Flatbush on them. I'm sorry.
In the chapel.
Not
on the golf course, in the chapel.
We ain't waiting. So I had to get rowdy with these chicks. And then it was an instance, because it happened for probably a whole summer. Like early Sunday service, we go to 8 o'clock service.
That's too long.
I let it rock, right? I'm going to see how y'all going to play. So let's see how we playing this game, right? So one Sunday after church, the chicks didn't speak to me at all. I don't mind because I don't care that y'all not talking. But you're not going to try to have a side conversation with my fiance at the time and think that it's going to be all good, that you don't have to speak to me. And he said, well, I'll tell them something. I said, you don't have to tell grown women nothing. Like, they don't know. They know what they're doing. They friends. They trying to be disrespectful. Right. But they don't know who I am. Right? So I go in a little grocery store downstairs. My husband getting ready, fiance at the time, getting ready to go golf. And I see him go to his car with his golf truck, his golf bag. And I look at the entrance of my driveway. One of the chicks is there. So I said,
the driveway of your
apartment complex. Yes.
Oh.
So I said to him,
she joining. What?
She going golfing too. So I said to him, what the hell she doing here? He said, oh, I'm giving her a ride. I said, like the hell you are giving her a ride to no golf course?
You listen.
So I went off, and then I went up to her. I said, yo, if you don't kick rocks, see, they don't know me like that. They know me on something. So I had to get hood on her, and, she clutched her pearls, and she still don't talk to me, and I don't care.
Oh, wow.
So her ass didn't get in his car.
You got that right.
She probably walked to the Jackie Robinson, and he met her. She was not getting that car pulling off from my house. So
getting that Uber.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I shut that shit. That was shut down.
I think it's with regards to having friends in relations. Now going back to Marvin now. Poor Marvin. Marvin, rest in peace.
Sorry, Marvin.
Pour some liquor for Marvin.
Right, sorry. But I'm really not going to pour the liquor out because I'm drinking it.
But I, like you, Simone, coming into my marriage, even as Dre and I dated, I came into my marriage with a very good friend. His name was Drew. Hey, Drew. To this day, Drew is still in our marriage.
All right, Drew.
But he ain't in our marriage. Right. You understand? But when we first got to the point where we started dating, I made it clear to Andre that just like you accepted me and my 3 kids, this man has rode with me and has experienced so many different things in my life. I mean, he was there for my good times, my bad times, my hard times. We went to high school together, and to the point when I got with Dre is when me and Dre decided, okay, we're going to we're going to get engaged and everything. I had to realize that I now had to put Drew in a different place. Yeah. I was not going to lose my friend though, because he has always been my friend and he's proven to be a friend and he knows what a friend means. See, sometimes you got to let people know what it means.
That's right.
You understand? Because some people don't have a clear definition of what a friend is.
Right.
And with Drew and myself, we've never had any intimacy at all. We've always been just who we are, friends. Right. And sometimes I think that you have to clearly define things to people because people have their own definitions. So you have to let them know, no, this is my definition of what a friend is.
Right.
But Drew, I always used to call him, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. But when I got married, how am I have another man as my best friend?
Right.
So you got to check yourself sometime and say, well, wait a minute, hold on. How you going to have Drew as your best friend, but you marry your best friend?
That's right.
Okay, so Jackie now has to do a little soul searching, right? And figure this out because, again, that's Jackie's friend. It's not Dre's friend. And I want Dre to accept my friend. Right. You understand? Right. So I was able to put that into a proper perspective. And guess what? Because Drew is my friend and Drew is clear on his title and the definition of our relationship, Drew fell right in line. So guess what? Drew is not 6 feet under like Marvin. Drew is still here. He attended our wedding. That's right. Him and Dre have their own relationship. Dre could hit Drew for whatever. Drew could hit Dre for whatever. And it's all love. And guess what? I still have a winning hand because I still have my friend and I have my best friend.
Yes.
Right.
My husband.
Yep. Right.
That's
Right.
Awesome.
Listen.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have a male friend. I unfortunately don't have a male friend or a good male friend.
Oh, God. There goes this.
But there's a line. No, really, like Dre is a male friend, but there's still like a line because you're my girl, my friend before you all the way up here.
I try to tell that to Dre too.
Simone is
Mel, stay right
the
there.
20-foot ceiling apartment.
Yes, because when you get into
Dre's a
relationships,
project.
just like I told
You said my friend.
Yes. Because when you got into it, this was your friend, right?
That's right.
This was your friend. And
But
Dre
I think it's
came in
important
trying to steal you. And I understand he got a little bit of you. That's fine. But be clear.
Right.
Her and Dre don't work out.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be you now. When you gotta choose, that's a friend. That's a friend.
Great advice. But I
gotta stay with my girl.
I tease my husband all the time. I be like, you better enjoy them because if me and you don't work out, you losing all.
Like deuces. It's not just me. You losing
everybody.
I lose a bunch of names.
Listen, he's gonna be really sad.
But I think a male friend is really. Having a male friend is really important. I unfortunately don't have any. And I really wish I did. I even wish not like I had like an older brother that just to have that male perspective
right
on different things that you go through in life.
That's true. And they do keep you level too because a lot of we're clear that men and women do not think the same.
They don't.
So when we sitting there, and that's one good that's a good place for Drew.
Jackie, I come to Simone and Dre, like they probably like, yo, Mel calling again. Like I'm sure they so fucking tired of me.
We are listen, on everything we're totally not.
Cause Dre is like, I swear Dre's probably like my closest male friend. Yo, probably like my only male friend.
Fine.
Cause other ones were like, I was with Verizon and I left Verizon and I had a few like male friends there, literally a few. A few was 3, so maybe a couple. 2, maybe 1.
Right. She about to say 0.
So it's
It was 0.
You have associates.
Right.
It's like a male friend is really important. And in these days, it's like my husband, he has like a male friend, but a female friend.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not friends, that's really not your friend. Like even if they were friends before us, we still have to have some type of relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring her to the table, like for real.
It got to be somebody you bring to the house.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. We know each
Yeah.
other.
If it's no
We get
one you
each
bring
other's
to the
presence.
house,
Yes.
that's not a friend.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because
There you go.
my husband's 2 female friends, they
Have they been to the house?
have been to the house.
Okay.
They was part of the bridal shower planning.
Oh,
They were
okay.
part like all that, like making it a secret because I had a surprise shower. They were part of it. I'm like,
Okay.
why are we still walking around the city? What is it? Because both of them was walking me around the city.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm like, what the hell are we still doing out in the city?
Yeah.
You know, so it really has to do with the significant other checking
It
that
does.
situation.
It really
Yeah,
does.
they have
Yeah.
to, they have to
Like I don't
define
have
it.
male
Yeah, they
friends,
have to
and my
define
husband
it.
really don't have female friends when it comes to me interacting with them, and vice versa. My only male friends was at work. I don't work at the corporate company I was working at anymore, so I really don't have any male friends. I really don't.
And when you say,
But it plays a big. It should. It
plays a
kind of
big
plays.
part.
It does.
So when you said you don't have older brothers, I have 3 older brothers, and they personalities are all different. One, if I say something, complain about my husband. One say,
I would love that.
The
Oh
other
my
one say,
God.
yo, work that out, whatever. I'm gonna call him, and we don't have that type of beef. But
Yeah.
even my brothers have direct numbers to my husband,
Yeah,
and vice versa.
right.
Like the whole sometimes. My brothers will talk to him and don't even talk to me on the phone. Like, oh yeah, let me call her back. I know I got to talk
I would
to her.
love that.
So
Oh my God.
I mean, it's all how you come into the relationship too.
Yes.
Because
Right.
my husband knows, like with family, I know we passed the in-laws question. My husband knows my immediate family means the world to me. That's my parents and my brothers.
Right.
And my nieces and nephews. If you can't accept them like that, we can't be
You're not
together.
accept-
Right.
And I laid that down. Like my brother, I speak to my brothers and my parents every day. Every day.
Yeah.
And me and my brothers be on the phone 3-way, and their wives are my girls. Like the same relationship they have with my husband, I have the same relationships with their wives. I forget sometimes to even say what's up to my brothers because I'm on the phone with them. So I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm flying in. Who gonna meet me at the airport? He gonna tell that sucker to meet me at the airport. And so you have to, but
Yeah.
Right.
it's a blessing to have those type of relationships.
It definitely
Right.
is.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
It adds balance.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
It does add balance.
It
And you need that
does.
balance.
Yes. Yes, we really do. Oh my God.
You need a balance.
So we had a brief conversation about this before the show started, right? So, all right. I need to know. Okay, wait, so listen, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, and that is probably the only time that I enjoy cooking. Now, if I see something, I'm like, oh, I think I want to make that. I get excited about that. And I'll spend whatever amount of money it is to make that one dish. But cooking is not really my thing, right? Because for me, I have small children. We got older children. I got work. I got my nonprofit. Now I done
got a
added this to
husband.
the mix. Oh, and let's not forget him because you know.
Your man child.
Listen, hold up. I got to make
Ooh,
sure
yes.
that
You're right.
because
Man-child.
he's a priority,
Yeah.
right? And so
He's a man child.
Yeah, man child.
But I had to put him, as that priority, whatever, and I have all these other things. So for me, like cooking and that type of stuff is just like the last on my totem pole, right? So how often are you supposed to like cook? Like, I know it sounds pretty, listen, I need to know because I am not that wife who cooks every day. I'm not.
But he knew that before he married you.
But you're right.
He
You're
kind of right. He's not going to
did,
admit it,
and I
but he
didn't-
did.
he
'Cause
did.
He saw.
He saw
Right.
it.
He
Yeah.
saw it. I listen.
He's like, this chick don't have no pots and pans in here.
I know he just said I got small pots. He's like, why are they so small?
There's only 2 of y'all.
What I need a
Right.
whole cast iron pot for? So I just need to know.
He should have knew from then because it wasn't big. It wasn't big enough.
He was complaining about that then. And I said, I'm going to buy some new pots. And I did. They were medium. But they were bigger than the small ones.
That's right.
But they were big enough.
But they were still not right. So what is how much time are you supposed to cook a week? And that's breakfast and dinner. Because, another thing, because he's going to say I never tell the whole story. So the whole story is for him. He's like, listen, you could cook breakfast, right? Saturday and Sunday, I should always cook breakfast, right? And then, maybe in the week 1 or 2 times or whatever. But then he's running around town telling people I don't cook. So please enlighten me. How many times am I supposed to do?
He's running around town while you in the kitchen cooking?
He's running around town while I'm in the kitchen cooking, while he's on the phone, while I'm at work. It don't matter. He just running around town telling everybody I don't cook.
So wait, so y'all have a deal where this is your deal. I want to be clear that you cook twice a week, and then on the weekends you always make breakfast.
Right.
So and that's what's taking place now.
That's what's
tried.
starting to take place,
You
right?
tried it.
Because we had a conversation, and I said that I would get better. So this is what I'm gonna do.
So that's the deal that
that's on the table.
y'all worked out.
Right.
I think that deal is dope.
I think so too, especially with young kids. Jackie, they have young kids. That's a great deal. That's an awesome deal.
For parents that are extremely busy with young children, understand you got it between the job, the kids, the homework, everything,
God.
just everything, just life, the reality of life. 2 times out of the week and just on the weekends doing breakfast, girl, you got it good. I'm not even gonna lie. I would take that deal.
Simone, you really do, because I have a husband that want me to cook every other day.
One right now.
Listen,
and we got 2 young kids. Like, you sound retarded.
I'm not gonna lie, but
you're setting yourself for failure.
Yes, but with that deal, I would have to throw something in there for him as well. Like, okay, so now what do you want
Jackie?
to bring? No,
Jackie,
not for him. For him
to do.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So, all right.
So
now we're clear because both of us are doing this. They're in the same household. They have the same children with the same needs. They both work hard. They both do side jobs where they have the nonprofit, the podcast, all of that. So basically, both of their calendars are filled up. They're filled. So this is your request from me. What was your request from him then?
Ooh.
So you know what?
Ooh.
I don't. I don't.
Let's talk about that right now. You want to write that out right now? Let's write that out right now.
Right. I need to. Because I don't. And here's the thing.
Wait. Yes. I need a refill. Is there anyone that want to refill my?
We got
a refill.
But
Jackie,
that's true. Because
I'm just saying.
I don't. And so my friends will be like one of my friends, she sits next to me, whatever, and she's like at work and she's like, well, you got to ask for help. Meanwhile, she never asked for help either because she does it all as well.
But that's what she
wants.
wants.
As women, like, I just do it.
Right.
Like, and I'm angry while I'm doing it, especially if I'm cleaning. First of all, they get out the house. When I start cleaning, they're like, you got that
when
look
Simone
in your
cleans,
eyes.
she don't answer text messages. I'm like, where's Simone? I don't think she's asleep in a nap. She's cleaning.
Right.
She'll text me like I was cleaning the whole house.
Right.
Simone,
and I'm angry while doing it for the first hour. Then I get into my music and I'm fine. But I don't do that. I don't ask for help. I just get angry and expect for him to just
to bring you back. Now you have the 2 days out the week that he would like a meal, and
what's
the 2 breakfast or brunch meals on the weekend.
Right, What's
so
his?
Now there are extra days in there. So now, what would you like to see happen from Drake?
Let us know that, Simone.
So
Yeah,
here's what I would like. You taking notes, babe? Take notes.
Take notes, Drake.
I'm taking notes so that we can. Yes,
and we can. Right.
Drake asked me what's on my
what?
Right now I got 2 minutes.
We
Now I got 2 minutes. Right. I would personally like for him to take over homework. So if I'm cooking, then you do the homework.
That is
you take care of the homework, not me cooking and then doing homework as well. He's on the couch watching a game.
Oh, that pisses me off.
Or he's working, he's putting up shows. He's oh wait. Because fantasy is back in
Football.
session. Oh my God.
basketball.
So you got
Fantasy football
He just
season?
had a draft today.
Who cares about that? But okay.
Oh, no, but
No,
it
it doesn't matter. My husband does the
He
same
neglects
thing.
his family.
You
for
still gotta do what you gotta do. What you still what do you want? What do you
Right.
want?
So I need for him.
She still have to put in her half?
to put. If I'm doing what I gotta do, he needs to do the homework and make sure that
What do you homework?
and make sure that things are kept neat, right? Because if he's like making sure that things are in order while I'm doing that, then it doesn't get crazy and out of hand. Then I don't get crazy when I'm cleaning.
So wait, the two things are homework and
helping to clean, which he by
Homework
the way
and cleaning.
said that he was going to help
Daily.
out.
This
He
is like
did that.
daily?
He did straighten up today. He did.
all right, so that's what it is.
Coming at you. Look, now I got
So
1 minute
homework,
left.
1 minute. It's all right.
Right.
But you said your homework and cleaning
Right.
on a daily
I
basis.
think that if he does do the homework, he'll probably get more than 2 meals out of a week.
I think he
Yeah.
would.
In all
He may
honesty.
get
Wait,
4.
homework every day?
Yes, this is
What?
what I'm saying. If
He would definitely, yes.
Child.
Every day.
I can see
Okay.
it happening.
Listen, you know what?
So homework every
Listen,
day. Let's
listen.
say it. We got 30 seconds. Homework
Right.
every day. Homework every day. What else?
And
Cleaning.
cleaning, and I will cook even more. He'll get more than
There you go. Homework every day and
Listen.
cleaning.
Boom.
So tune in to the next podcast and we'll see how that went.
Right, I'm just saying.
We are nowadays wives, and back in the days we were raised by mothers who had the time
about to
that
say
did not
that,
work,
yes.
the shifts that we worked.
Yeah.
We all pulling the same weight. Back in the days, that the
mother
more
was
so
And
the
Jackie,
women did
first of all,
stay in
Jackie,
house,
the
they cooked and they
charter
cleaned.
school
You understand? It doesn't
requirements
work
is
like that no
totally
more.
different from back in the day.
Right.
So we got to add that in there too.
Right. So
Right.
it's completely different
Yeah.
now, So nowadays the incomes of 2 people are holding down the household. So you
And
can't
you need
say,
like
okay,
3,
I'm
4
gonna have my
income.
wife just sit at home and take care of the kids. I
Right.
mean, if that was the case, then you would sure enough be cooking every day.
Jackie, yes.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Cooking every day
They don't
and
take this
everything
into
else.
consideration.
Right, they
don't.
don't.
They just
Listen,
Day.
if I didn't say you would get cooking and all kind of other extracurricular activities.
right.
Yo, but okay. Yes.
Listen,
But Simone,
but you
right.
see, all right. So you're
Well, this
listening.
was great.
it was.
Thank y'all
It was.
for coming out. I really do.
Thank you for the
You guys
invitation.
are
Yes, thank you
just
for having us.
amazing. Listen.
So we're gonna have Aunt Pat on.
Listen, Aunt Pat. Shout out to Aunt Pat. Aunt Pat, we love you.
Love
you
you,
need to
Aunt
come
Pat.
Love you
through.
with someone else. Aunt Pat and who else?
Who else was
Oh,
it?
Sarissa's friend, Jocelyn.
Sarissa,
Jocelyn.
Aunt Pat, Jocelyn, and Jesus for the next episode.
Listen, we are on. Listen, okay. So I just want to say, first of all, again, thank you, girls. I just love you, ladies, so much. You guys are amazing.
Thank
I love my husband.
We know.
You're the CEO. You're the everything. Yep,
Yes,
everything.
husband. Yes,
Right, husband.
Give it up for the husband. The husband's doing right by us.
But
But the word do say, he that findeth the wife findeth a good thing.
Yo, Jackie,
Listen.
some men don't understand that or know that or understand the meaning or some men don't know that.
Hello,
Jackie,
ministers in the
Yo,
background.
Jackie.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
so listen,
Jackie,
Listen.
some men don't know that, understand
Oh
that.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, listen. Follow
Jackie.
follow us. I am on social media. I'm really on Instagram right now. It is What They Don't Tell You podcast. Make sure that you follow us. If you have any questions, if you have a topic that you you need some insight on, please let us know, because I will air it out on here. We're gonna get through this, wives and ladies and everything else.
Thank you.
Yes.
Listen, it was great. Everybody is amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and catch you next time.